Hi, here is a lap guide in the Spec Racer Ford around Sonoma Cup Historic layout, the version with the short chute between 6 and 7. This lap's been done in a private test with default weather and a generated track state. Hopefully you can use this as a basis to build your laps on as the week progresses. As we cross the line in 4th gear, we keep to the left through what is turns 1 and 1A. It's the two left-hand corners as you go up the hill. As I get to the bridge that runs across 1A, at that point now I'm going to lift off the throttle just to keep the car to the left-hand side, keep it as close to the curb on the left, which I use as my braking reference marker. When I'm in line with that curb, just at the start of it, I begin braking, shift down to 3rd gear. I want to bring the car over to the curb on the inside of the corner on the right-hander. I'm going to try and get as late apex as I can on that right-hand curb. At the point where I reach the curb and I'm on the curb, I want to be back at full throttle, accelerating out of the corner. You want to accelerate as quickly out of this corner as you can, as it's an uphill thing, so you want to keep momentum through this section. Having let the car drift out ever so slightly on the exit of turn 2, I want to bring the car over to the right hand side to set up for 3 and 4. The exit of turn 4 is a really easy place to get a 1x off track, so you want to compromise 3 to allow yourself a better line on 4. In this particular one I just get away with it. Any more speed or any slightly different angle through that turn 4 and I would have gone off track there and lost some time down the hill. For turn 3, I'm just lifting off the throttle. I'm not actually touching the brake at all, but I just want to bring the car over to the left-hand side, keeping as close to the curb as I can. I take a little bit of curb on this occasion, but I probably would be quicker if I avoided it altogether. Just hug as close to it as I possibly can. I want to hold the inside curb of 3 for longer than I'll probably feel like you'd naturally feel necessary, because you want a really late apex on 4. It feels unnatural the first few times I did it, but once you get it right, it's much quicker. I'm maintaining 4th gear throughout this whole section. For turn 5 and the cut onto the short chute of this, what is now historic cup layout, I'm going to begin braking in line with where the track veers off to the right hand side to go onto the inner loop version. There's 3 bollards which cuts that section off. That's roughly where I begin braking. I'm going to shift down to 3rd gear, but I'm going to get on the power really quickly and I'm going to take so much curb on exit. The car bounces across it, but that whole tarmac area to the exit and close to where the wall is viable to go there. I tried laps of keeping it inside or closer to the curb, but I was quicker and I carried more speed down the short chute by taking a lot of curb on the exit of this corner. Turn 6, 3rd gear. I'm keeping as far left as I possibly can down that short chute, and I'm going to begin braking as the wall sticks out. When that wall sticks out comes to an end, that's my braking marker for turn 6. I'm going to bring the car to the curb on the inside. Don't push too early on the exit, I find here. I want to get as far around the corner hugging the curb as I can, and then straight line the exit a little more. I want to make sure I hit the left hand exit curb on this slight left hand kink on the exit of the corner, because that will then set me up for the complicated section down the back towards the final corner. This next section flows all together. Compromise one part, and I find that actually I end up regretting it later on, all the way till you get down to the final hairpin. So you need to work for each section and aim for where you want to be on each section one at a time. Having kept to the left on the two left-hand kinks out of turn 6, I'm going to straight line across the section on the right, where you've got two curbs and a slight slip road coming in from the right hand side. You can go try and straight line this section as best you possibly can. I'm then going to take a lift, not using any brakes in this section, just a lift on 8, the left hander, keeping to the curb on the inside on the left hand side. As soon as I'm off of that curb, I'm going full throttle and I'm going to carry full speed through the right hand of 8A. This corner comes up over a crest on the exit, so again it's one of those other areas of the track where it's easy to run a bit wide and get an off track. If you've kept far enough to the left through 8, you should be able to turn quickly enough to get a later apex through 8A, and then you can carry the full speed all the way through the corner. Turn 9, the long left-hander, is flat out. Here you can make a choice. I've tried both ways of shifting up into 5th or staying in 4th. If I use 5th gear, I can use 5th gear as well through turn 10, the right-hander. It just makes me slightly slower between 10 and the final hairpin. But I've carried more speed through 9 and 10 without having to get the rev limiter involved in this section between the two corners. So you could shift up to 5th and carry 5th through 10, or you could stay in 4th and carry 4th through 10. Honestly, I couldn't discern a difference in my lap times. One was better than the other at different parts of the track. I'm going to turn in from 9, I'm going to turn into 10 just as I reach the end of the inside curve on the left-hander and turn in nice and sharply, although without trying to scrub off too much speed. And then you just want to try and get as close to the curb on the inside of 10 as you can. Use the curb on the exit and carry the speed down to the hairpin. Into the final hairpin at the end of the lap. I'm going to be taking this in 2nd gear. Finding the braking reference marker I found quite challenged for this corner because I wanted to use the cones on the left hand side at the pit entry, but I tend to find that I actually brake too late if I was using them, and I overshot the corner. There's some cones on the right hand side which may be able to be a better braking marker, and I'm using the cone just before the pit entry line. Another compromise I found with this corner, while I wanted to bring the car across the curb as close to the tyre bales on the inside, it compromised my exit. So I actually stick to the curb line as getting around here, and it allows for a slightly better exit, slightly less wheel spin onto the long straight that takes me to the finish line and ends the lap.